When you say pro-Israeli, do you just mean Jews? What do you mean by that?
No, of course I don't mean Jews. There are huge numbers of Jews who oppose Israel.
I'm asking, well, generally when I debate this topic, a lot of people will say, like, you know, the Adelsons, right? Because they're Jewish, they're Israeli. Or do you mean pro-Israel, like you're talking about AIPAC, you're talking about J Street?
People talk about George Soros, but nobody suggested he's pro-Israel. The reason people talk about the Adelsons is because they gave $300 million to Trump's campaigns, and Trump himself said that every time the Adelsons came to the White House, they didn't ask about the United States, they asked for things for Israel.
When he said that people go in, we want this, and he's like, I don't really agree with that. It's like, well, we'll give you some more money. He's like, okay, I agree with it now. How do you know Trump doesn't just already align with the same ideology?
The reason I know is because President Trump spent a full decade promising people like you and everyone else who voted for him that he was not going to involve the United States in more Middle East wars, in more regime change wars. That is the basis and foundation for Trump's entire political movement.
He said multiple times that he doesn't want to go straight to military action with Iran, but he has made it very, very clear that if negotiations are exhausted, I will use the military option.
For regime change?
Okay, first off, do you know what the 4 goals of the war are in Iran?
I'm asking you,
do you know what the 4 goals of the war are? Okay, what are they? Is it regime change?
They changed so many times.
No. President Trump,
there aren't 4 goals.
There has been 4 stated goals. You can go on the internet right now to the official government website and you will read the 4 goals. At the beginning of the war,
Trump, in an interview with the Washington Post, said, my main goal and why I'm attacking Iran is to free the Iranian people. Is that one of the 4 goals that President Trump said was his most important objective when going to war with Iran?
I'm going to concede something. I agree with you that President Trump speaks in very grandiose measures. He does. I'm not going to. Everything's the biggest thing ever, the most beautiful thing ever, it's the worst thing ever. I'm not going to disagree.
That was a stated goal of the war.
No, it was not. If you listen to our Department of War, if you listen to our Department of War, and by the way, you can go on.
It's the president that determines the war objectives.
I understand. Okay,
it's not the Department of War. It's the president.
That's not true. I was in the military for 12 years. That's not actually particularly true.
Who was your commander-in-chief? The Secretary of Defense?
No, it's not.
It was the president, right?
No. First off, that's not how objectives are attained. You're right. He agrees with them or disagrees with them. And again, I agree. Trump will go on interviews and he will say stuff
who sets war goals for the United States?
Well, first off, it's actually a complex measure of how it goes out. Are you asking who agrees with the finalized goals?
When a war started, who determines what the goals of the war are?
Again, it's a very complex measure.
It's the president, correct?
Again, if you're saying agree with, he gets briefs, he gets people from the Pentagon.
Who's the final decision maker about the goals of the war?
That's the right question, and that would be the commander-in-chief.
The president, right?
Right.
So if you look at the official memo, what wars are,
if you look at
what the president says.
I got it. If you look at the official memo that was signed by him, that was pushed out and still on the government website to this very day, you can read the main objectives of the war.
Has he said that regime change is one of the goals of the war?
I agree that he's implied it in interviews.
Has he said it explicitly? Has Donald Trump said that a goal of the war in Iran is to free the Iranian people by changing the regime of that country, a regime change war in the Middle East of the kind he said he wouldn't fight? Did Donald Trump say that was a goal of the war or not?
Real quick answer, one word. He said in interviews, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.